Morning thought: deceived. Are we ever blindly led astray or willing participants in our deception? Do we not see the red flags littered along the path to destruction, or do we choose to associate with our corruptors? Do we lose agency during the period of deception and regain it once the deception of others and self is concluded? It is easy to absolve ourselves of accountability by claiming victimhood in the deception rather than taking the difficult path of responsibility. Are we led astray blindly or chosen to be willing participants in our deception? My name is Zibuse L Kunene. Come with me on the journey to empowered thinking. Now, this one was quite interesting for me to write and to also share, because I needed to strike a balance actually between somebody who is unwillfully deceived through other means and somebody who simply just partakes, for whatever reason they partake in their deception or the deception of others. There are so many instances and examples. I mean, here in South Africa, we've seen how some people have gone to churches and they've allowed themselves to be manipulated or deceived by people who call themselves pastors, who then get them to eat grass, drink petrol, do silly stuff with frogs, have pastors walk on top of them, and do some crazy things. But all for what? To what end? It's easy to stand outside, stand from afar, and criticize those who seem to be fools for this thing. It's easy for them to say, but how could you week in, week out go there and get yourself deceived? But with us having a sense of agency, we know that any rational thinking person would not do that. But how did that person get to that stage is the big question, because there are underlying factors that we are not aware of. There are underlying factors that drove them to that point. Moving to another field where people get deceived and you really do not understand how or why. People who are very intelligent, people who are in the prime of their careers, they hold a high positions, they're very intelligent in what they do and who they are, but somehow get into relationships where they get manipulated and abused by the other person. And when you look at the type of person who's abusing them, it doesn't make sense. But if you're standing from outside and you're looking in, surely something is amiss. This person did not just willingly give up their agency just to be in that relationship, just to be abused, just to be manipulated. Something has to have happened. So you and I need to stop and take the time and just try and understand what happened. Where did things go wrong? Where was this person's sense of agency taken away from them? And then we have these people who just enjoy deceiving others. They do. You look at it, they seem to thrive in it. They seem to seek every opportunity to do it, and they just go ahead and do it, and they excel at it. And you wonder, what went wrong for someone to just enjoy doing this? Sometimes I think of instances where somebody has been shot multiple times and you think, what was this person thinking, pulling the trigger so many times? When you hear somebody was stabbed so many times, what on earth happened? And then the second, and then and so on, everyone after that. Why? I just don't understand. But something must have snapped within them. And it's important for us to just not always be judging from a distance. Yes, we can speak against it, but can we speak for something that will yield some positive results, something that will rather be empowering, that will be healing, that will grant us some light towards some inclination of understanding into the psyche of that person. But what actually went wrong for somebody to get to that stage? And so we need to ask ourselves, the person who deceives others, what do they stand to gain? Are you the deceiver? Have you been deceived? Have you fallen prey to all of these gimmicks? It's a question worth asking. And I'm also asking it myself. Have I? Does it feel like to be deceived? My name is Zibuse L Kunene. Thank you for being with me on this journey to empowered thinking.